Good evening, friends. Our group topic is water desalination. My name is Karthik.
And my name is Ram Fanindra.
My name is Shrikant Gadiparthi.
My name is Sean Wiggin.
Well, water desalination. The word desalination itself says that conversion of salt water into normal water by taking away the salt and other minerals from the salt water. It's very important process nowadays because as we all know that 2/3 of the earth is covered with sea water. So if we just convert this sea water into normal water, we can eliminate the concept of drought in the parts of the world. And moreover, it produces very less waste because the byproduct which this process produces is salt, which is also consumed by human beings. And yep, this is what it's also implemented in countries like Australia and New Zealand. Now, let me just give you a sample, a easy process how this desalination is done. Let us consider a container with salt water. As we all know that the water boiling point is somewhat lower than salt. So we just heat the salt water, thereby the water gets evaporated first, and this evaporated water is cooled and condensed and produced into another new container, thereby separating the salt as well as water and leaving the salt and other minerals as byproduct. This is how the simple desalination process is done.
The water planet. Third from the sun, and the only planet in the solar system where water exists in liquid form. In fact, 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with it. Yet millions of people struggle to find enough water to survive. With the world's population growing by about 90 million people every year, the supply of usable water just isn't keeping up. Usable is the key. The overall amount of water on the planet never changes. It's only the distribution of it that varies. As a liquid on the surface or below it. As a vapor in clouds. Or as a solid at high altitudes and in the higher latitudes. Making sure we have enough water in usable form and getting it to where it's needed is what water management is all about. Conservation is one method. Using less water whenever possible. Building dams, reservoirs, and aqueducts. Cleaning up polluted water. And recycling water, especially for irrigation. Desalination, or desalting, is another method of increasing the supply of usable water. To most people, desalination means desalting seawater, unlocking the ocean's vast liquid treasure. Desalting seawater requires a lot of energy and has not been the top priority in the United States. It has been widely used in the Mideast, where the abundance of oil means inexpensive energy. But there's another use for desalination which is more practical and has just as much potential. By removing salts, minerals, and other contaminants, it can raise the quality of inland water supplies for use as drinking water or for irrigation.
Okay, well, that's just a little bit about desalination.
In the 4th century BC, Greeks
Now we'll be talking about some positives and negatives of this technology. To do so, we will have class involvement, and to do that, we will be playing the popcorn game. I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever done that. What it is, you read a couple of notes from the slide, and then you pass it and popcorn on to the next person. So I'd like to start with Bruce. Here you go, popcorn.
Positives of this technology. A typical American uses 80 to 100 gallons of water a day, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The entire country consumes about 323 billion gallons per day of surface water and another 84.5 billion gallons of groundwater. The price difference will undoubtedly narrow, especially in regions that could experience more intense droughts due to climate change. Water use has been growing twice as fast as the population growth, causing more and more communities to suffer water shortages. The demand for fresh water supplies will drive prices higher, making desalination increasingly attractive.
One of the main points we like to take from this slide is the fact that water is growing twice as fast as population growth, so sooner or later it's going to be a major issue. Popcorn.
Okay.
Wow.
I read. Large amounts of energy are needed to generate the high pressure that forces the water through the filter. Current methods require about 14 kilowatt hours of energy to produce 1,000 gallons of desalinated seawater.
Okay.
Actually, these have more negative effects when we compare to the positive effects. The construction process also takes a lot of time, inconvenient, and also effects on the environment. It has main effects on the aquatic animals. One of the major pollutant on this desalination process is chlorine, which affects the aquatic animals, and also it also leads to loss of many aquatic habitats. And moreover, one of the other drastical disadvantage of this desalination is that it also pollutes the underground water. These are the main side effects of this desalination process.
Now you can popcorn. You choose if you want to pass the mic.
Multi-stage slash distillation is a water desalination process that distills seawater by flashing a portion of the water into steam in multiple stages of water, essentially counter current heat exchangers. Multi-stage flash distillation plants produce 85% of all desalinated water in the world.
As you have seen in the video, the water is evaporated and created a steam, and it again comes in the form of water when it is cooled. This is the process, and 85% of the salt water is purified in this way.
Reverse osmosis is a membrane technology filtration method that removes many types of large molecules and ions from solutions by applying pressure to the solution when it is on one side of a selective membrane. Large reverse osmosis and multi-stage flash distillation plants are used in the Middle East, especially in Saudi Arabia.
The next person. This is just a video we had that was showing the whole process, but we've already kind of gone through that. I'll speak and then we'll go next. Vacuum distillation is a method of distillation whereby the pressure above the liquid mixture to be distilled is reduced to less than its vapor, causing evaporation of the most violet liquids. This distillation method works on the principle of boiling occurs when the vapor pressure of the liquid exceeds the ambient pressure. And this is just the most general form where you boil the water, and like we said before, since the water is boiling point is before the salts, the water is evaporated and leaving excess salt and separating the water from the salt. Oh, okay. Oh, we only have 3 more minutes? Okay, we'll speed it up. We'll give you guys a few things about the implementation of this technology. There's actually a lot of implementation around the world. Arizona has an implementation where they constructed a plant which feeds the rivers. It's used to clean the rivers and some of the water sources out there. So it's not really so much for the drinking. It's just to keep the water levels clean in those states and its surrounding states. China also has a major distillation plant which combines distillation and coal-fired with a coal-fired power plant designed to alleviate critical water shortages.
Like we are implementing this technology because water is reducing day by day, and to make this water like to the demand of the people, to the demand of the population, this technology is very useful, and it is used in various countries. And according to the research, like different kinds of implementations are added into this technology, like like sheets of graphene are used in filtration process like this, and 1 atom thick of element of carbon which stays in this filtration process is also used. And these and using these kind of materials in this filtration process makes the implementation of this technology very cheap and very effective.
And that was a video. So from the slide, you can see the graphene, which is used to separate those 2 products. And that is our slide.
Very good.